Peace family, and welcome back to another video. I'm the Mind's Eye. If you're not already, make sure that you're following me, subscribe to my channel, and also like and repost this video. Today we're going to be talking about the Adam and Eve story by Chan Thomas, The History of Cataclysms. I feel like this book is important because I feel like when we have conversations of intellect, I notice that people use not only the Eden story for the beginning of life, meaning that the Bible would say that we have only been on earth for 6,000 years, or even the Lucy story, right, with the out of Africa. I'm going to challenge these, giving a broader perspective to advanced civilizations and fall of civilizations. Now, this book, I forgot to mention, was actually found on the CIA website and declassified in the early 2000s, 2013 to be specific. Let's go over this, shall we? In pages 1 through 5, the first pages lay the groundwork for the document. Chan Thomas introduces the idea that human history is cyclical, and the catastrophic events, including global disasters, have occurred before. The concepts of Maya began to emerge as an underlying theme. The illusion of performance in civilization, the perception that societies are stable now, in reality, they are a constant flux and they vulnerable to a cataclysm shift at any moment. Now, pages 6 through 10, the premise of the cyclical destruction, Chan discusses how history is marked by a cyclical event, such as a global flood and a massive shift in Earth's geography. He introduces the idea of the Earth's crust shifting, which leads to a mass destruction. The human race is portrayed as forgetful, caught in a loop of rebirth and destruction. Maya, the cycle of rebirth, is misunderstood as a linear progression, an illusion of continuity. People failed to see the inevitable collapse of civilizations and their inability to transcend the cycle of destruction. Now, pages 11 through 15, the role of ancient civilizations. Thomas delves into ancient civilizations, discussing their wisdom and their eventual downfall. He draws parallels between fate of these civilizations and the trajectory of modern society, suggesting that we too are vulnerable to a similar fate. There's a clear emphasis of humanity's ignorance of the larger forces shaping our world. Maya, right? The belief that ancient civilizations were more advanced or civilized than modern ones, which clouds their perception of the eventual collapse. Pages 16 through 20, the flood and Earth's polar shift. Pages 16 through 20, the flood and the Earth's polar shift. This section explores the physical mechanisms of destruction, including the shift in Earth's polar regions and the subsequent catastrophic flooding. These shifts are portrayed as a part of a natural cycle that humanity cannot escape from. There is an underlying suggestion that humans and their arrogance ignore these forces until it's too late. Maya, the illusion that the world is a permanent and static, while in reality it is a constant motion and subject to natural laws that humanity fails to fully understand. Pages 21 through 25, the cosmic spiritual forces. Chan introduces cosmic forces as part of the cyclical destruction. This section ties the physical catastrophes with spiritual and metaphysical explanations. The Maya here is the illusion that humans are separate from the cosmos and divine forces, seeing themselves as masters of the world rather than the part of a much larger interconnected reality. Maya, the illusion of humanity and anonymity, ignoring the influence of a larger cosmic forces at play. And yes, Maya and Mayan are almost synonymous, but there are deeper meanings between the two, which I'll explain later. Pages 26 through 30, the nature of human consciousness. In these pages, Thomas argues that humanity's consciousness is limited, shaped by the material world and unable to perceive the greater truths of existence. The collapse of civilizations is linked to the ignorance of spiritual principles, where people focus on material progress rather than their spiritual awakening. Maya, the illusion that material progress equates to spiritual advancement, a misperception that leads to the downfall of civilizations once again. Pages 31 through 35, the ancient texts and teachings. Pages 31 through 35, ancient texts and teachings. Chan connects ancient teachings, including those from the Bible, to the idea of the cyclical history and destruction. He focuses on the Adam and Eve story, using it as a metaphor for humanity's loss of spiritual knowledge and connection to our higher truths. Maya, in this instance, the illusion of the fall from grace, where humanity's loss of knowledge is seen as an irreversible catastrophe, but in reality is part of the cycle of enlightenment and forgetfulness. Pages 36 through 40, the coming cycle in humanity's fate. This section discusses the inevitability of another catastrophic cycle, emphasizing that humanity has not learned from the past. Thomas suggests that people are repeating the same mistake, and that there is little hope for avoiding the coming disaster. Maya, the illusion of progress, and the belief that we can escape the cyclical nature of existence, even though the cycle continues regardless of human will. Pages 41 through 45, the transformation of Earth. Chan goes into a greater detail on the transformation of Earth itself, theorizing that the massive changes in the Earth's surface and poles will occur in the near future. This section serves to further support the idea of the inevitable destruction, suggesting that the Earth's physical laws will override human understanding. Maya, the illusion that humanity can control the nature of the world and that Earth is static and unchanging. Pages 46 through 50, the myth of human progress. Here, Thomas critiques the concepts of the linear progress in human history. He links the rise of the fall of civilizations to the false notation that humanity is on a steady upward trajectory, with each generation improving upon the last. Maya, the belief in the constant improvement of humanity, which blinds people to the reality of decline and destruction that is inherent in the cycle of history. Pages 51 through 53, the conclusion, the end of a cycle. The conclusion summarizes that central themes of the document: humanity is caught in a cycle of ignorance, spiritual decline, and eventual destruction. Chan calls for a recognition of the cyclical nature of history and urges for a spiritual awakening to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Maya, the final realization that the cycle of human history is inevitable and that the Maya is the illusion of control and progress, leading to the constant repetition of history's mistakes. Now, our final thoughts here would be, throughout the Adam and Eve story, the concept of Maya, the illusion of stability, control, and progress, is a central theme. Chan Thomas represents a world where humanity is caught in a cycle of destruction due to inability to see beyond the material and illusionary world. The erasure of spiritual truths, awareness, and interconnectedness leads to the constant downfall of civilizations. By failing to recognize these truths, humanity continues to experience the same catastrophic cycles. Who or what is Maya? Maya as an illusion? In Hindu philosophy, Maya is the concept that the material world and everything in it are not as they seem. It's an illusion that things are permanent, separate, and unchanging, when in reality they are transient, interconnected, and impermanent. Maya is what causes human beings to perceive the physical world as real and separate from the spiritual, when in fact everything is an expression of a greater divine truth. Maya as deception. Maya is often described as a veil or illusion that clouds the truth, making people believe that the material pursuits, wealth, and personal identity are the most important aspects of life. In many philosophies, this causes attachment and suffering because people fail to see beyond the surface of things. Now, Maya in Chan Thomas's book, in the Adam and Eve story, Chan Thomas uses the concept of Maya to refer to humanity's failure to the cyclical and permanent nature of the world. He argues that civilizations fall because they become trapped in the illusion that they are progressing or that their material achievements are permanent, which are the result of Maya, the illusion of stability and to control over nature, history, and human existence. Where is Maya? Maya is everywhere. In this context, Maya is present in the physical, material world and affects human perception. It's not a place of a person, but a state of consciousness. It influences the way people view themselves, others, world, and the universe. The physical world itself, often described as Maya, as veils the nature of true reality. So when I say free Maya, I mean free your consciousness. Free that matriarch, which would be the right brain, right? Free that moon in you, which would be free that physical in you, because Maya shows you that there's an illusion, but you take it seriously. But let's keep going. Maya in cycles. Maya is also described as being present in the cycles of history and civilizations. People are continually trapped by the illusion of their own civilization's permanence, and they fail to recognize that every civilization is subject to the same destructive cycle due to Maya. Mother Earth, if you will. Who is behind Maya? Maya is not a person. Maya is not a single entity or being. It is a metaphysical force or concept that originates from spiritual teachings about the nature of the world and perception. In some traditions, Maya is associated with the goddess, often seen as the divine energy, or you can say in Hindu cosmology, it would be Shakti, that creates the material universe, but also veils the ultimate reality, which is Brahman. The role of humanity, according to many spiritual teachings, human beings themselves are often the agents who are deceived by Maya. Their desires, attachments, and ignorance keep them within the illusion. The task of spiritual awakening or enlightenment is a transcendence of Maya and realize that the true nature of reality is Maya. But if we were to talk about Maya or Mayan in a culture, let's go to page 38 of this actual document on the CIA website. It starts with the cataclysm. It says the oceans and winds took 6 days after the start of the cataclysm to resolve their holocaustic wars in the surface of the earth, and in the 7th day began to settle down to 5,000 years of normal complacency. The 2-mile-thick ice caps of the Littorian Basin and the Indian Ocean, having shifted from their polar homes and started a new course of revolving equatorial, proceeded to melt at a tremendous speed in the torrid heat, carving great grooves in the mountains as the rushing, gushing, swirling water and ice overwhelmed everything in their paths. The great amounts of moisture being poured into the atmosphere were shrouded by the torrid zone in a dark fog for many years during several generations. The oceans rose some 200 feet all over the world with the sudden melting of the ice caps, as they do after each cataclysm. The end of the Littorian Ice Age and the start of the Old Stone Age was complete. And this is what I mean by Mayan as a civilization. And when I say this in civilization, I will cover later the book Queen Mu in the fall of the Mayan Empire, right? When Queen Mu becomes Isis because of the migration to Egypt. The unaliving of her husband, Prince Ko, due to the Atlantean War. But let me make this very great point here before we keep going. We are Mayan. And the reason why this document was put on the CIA archives is because it challenged the out of Africa theory, giving us more power to an ancient civilization than to a great ape. Now, after all of this happened, it said the Mayan tongue lived on in scattered remnants. The tribes are as follows: the Polynesian tongue, the Greek, the Yakut, Egyptian, Eskimo tongue, nomadic, Oriental, German, American Indian. All of the languages migrated. The resurrection from the waters, right? Tao lived on in many stories of a man who survived, later to become Taiora, Tangoora, Ta'aora-a, depending on which tribe's legends you would find. And just to take this a step further before we end this video, the Tau cross, a T-shaped cross resembling the Greek letter Tau, is a significant symbol within the Franciscan tradition, representing Christ's cross and the Franciscan commitment to living a life of poverty, chastity, and obedience. A stolen cross. It is the oldest cross. It is the new Adam cross. Didn't I just tell you that Tau or Ta'ora or Tangoora or Ta'aora-a? Right? A man who survived these cataclysmic floods. Tau is Adam. Eve is his daughter. They say that they sprung up from the same civilization. We realize that Genesis was 4 million, if you will, no, 4 billion years ago. Then the re-Genesis was 11,500 years ago. And then the last one was 6,000 years ago, where we have the Bible. Genesis 1, 2, and 3. And in the interpretations of all 3 of those is a reconstruction of what the Naga must have been given to us in the chapters earlier, and they had them in English, translating them from Naga to English, bypassing Greek and Hebrew. Make sure you join my lives. I do discuss how exactly English played a prominent role in the ancient world due to Isis herself. Thoth himself. I will be going live today and today is the 14th Friday of March. So I hope to see you guys all there. Make sure you like, comment, and share and repost this video. Also, make sure that if you're new here, that you give me a follow. Have a great day. Bye.